Are you ready for DC Douglas Q&A? Great, beautiful. We're gonna have I got a couple of gifts for you guys. I want to thank my volunteers who went out there to let other people know we had a little string sitting on the schedule, but it is happening now. If you're a fan of Resident Evil 5 or Umbrella Chronicles Forward or before, what the hell, and you can tell me how much you hate my work, or Mass Effect 2 or 3, I played Legion in that, and Transformers Rescue Bots on the hub for the little ones who aren't here. So come on in, come forward, we're going to show some stuff. So first up, hi!
Hello!
I'm DC Douglas. I do some voices like, does this human have a soul? Which has much better effects, or 7 minutes. 7 minutes is all I can spare to play with you. So yeah, so that's who I am. We're gonna do a little Q&A in between some of these things, but a lot of people just don't think that that's all I do is get hired to go do Wesker, and then the rest of the time I'm on food stamps. It's not quite the case. I also I'm an on-camera actor, do film and TV, and I also do voiceover for other things. And so we're gonna go ahead and play a little sizzle reel here to show you.
Unbelievable.
Alex put up in the secret. On the second day, Alex, you are the sizzle. Jim did the entire crossword. In and sizzle joy sizzle. The NFL is now hiring new employees due to the competitive nature of the industry. Applicants should be prepared for a rigorous interview process. Denise Basic is a real Geico customer, not a paid celebrity. So to help tell her story, we hired a celebrity. Tom and Steve and Kimberly have been collecting clues about magic, sex, and morbid. Coming up, has Kimberly seen enough? The key to this weapon system's versatility lies with the ammunition. With a range of 9 miles and a payload of 8,000 free-form tungsten fragments, the effects are devastating. Massive, Edmund, and Jeffrey. Guiding weekdays on CBS.
Good day. This is Mel, United States Mint.
I don't have First National News in the talking house.
We're already running the prices full steam, Jerry.
Gotta keep it in mind, gotta keep it in mind.
Alright, we're the man. Maybe you can say
I'm sorry. It's the end of it. Is it permissible to attack one another using frozen precipitation as a weapon? And humans enjoy this wrong? We're the super friends.
Seriously, you sound like a superhero's boss.
So, yeah, I haven't had to go to food stamps yet, so it's like there's an idea of all right, so I thought, why don't we first start with a trivia question, right? Just to kind of get it going, and then we'll do some Q&A here. So here's a trivia question for you. I gotta look at it. Here it is. All right, here you go. What is the first, no, we'll do this better actually. Who can you name a previous voice actor for Albert Wesker, other than DC Douglas? Can you name one? Raise your hand. Oh. You can't think. So you only know me because it said it underneath the thing? All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. There have been 3 other voice actors. In Resident Evil 1 was Sergio Jones, who is the open the door. And you two are almost a Jill sandwich. Then there was Richard Waugh, who's pretty much really well known as establishing the voice. And then there's Peter Jessica, who did it for a couple games. And then Richard Waugh again. And then myself. And then I've been basically doing, because they moved production to Los Angeles, so I've been doing the voice since Umbrella Chronicles Forward, and no, I'm not in Resident Evil 6. So, if I were, and I couldn't tell you, I would say, I wish I could say, I can't say one way or the other, or can't confirm, I neither confirm nor deny, but I can tell actually, I'm not in it. But Troy Baker, I think, and I don't know, I can confirm or deny that Troy Baker does the voice of Wesker Jr. So, since no one won that prize, I'm going to skip to another one. And then we'll do a Q&A here. So my next question for you, where are you going? What are you doing? What are you doing? No orange-haired people on the stage. Orange, red-haired people, fine. All right, let me ask you this. Since you know Umbrella Chronicles Forward, I've been doing a voice of Wesker. What's the first Resident Evil game I voiced that wasn't a Resident Evil game where I still was voicing Wesker? Yours. Marvel vs. Capcom 3, 2, 3. You win one! All right. So hey, we got any questions here about Resident Evil? Anybody? You, sir, and yell aloud.
What was the hardest part about playing Wesker?
Was that yelling loud because
What was the hardest part of playing Wesker?
Put me a little mic. Oh, that's what we can do. You want to run mics? Okay, so what was the hardest part of playing Wesker? I would say the hardest part was the fact that in Resident Evil 5, Umbrella Chronicles, the hardest part was that I had to match Peter Jessup's voice, because they played that as the sample they wanted to be like. And then when I went into Ferrari 5, they played Richard Waugh, so I had to sound like him, and I hadn't prepared mentally because I thought it was going to be Peter Jessup's version. So that part was hard, but the hardest part was in Resident Evil 5, they did facial mocap. So they had the dots all over the face, they had the cameras all in the recording booth, and the little lasers pointing at it and all that. And so the voice actors were usually anonymous in a booth. You know, they can maybe see us through the window, but nobody else is seeing us. So when you're doing some line and you want to be crazy about it, and you sometimes do strange, like look at me, I'm gesticulating right now, I'm half Italian, so I'm going to be doing all of this. But when they're doing that, they do the lasers and the cameras, you can't move. So you have to be like this and go, which is really difficult. And you have to you have to express more, because it needs to read in the software that they're doing. So I can't just look at you and go, I'm going to kill you. Because that reads as nothing on it, right? But if I go, I'm going to kill you, but try to keep the voice still steady, it's really difficult to make the face do all that. So that was, I think, the hardest part was all the facial mocap stuff. So, other questions? All right, we got one over here. Hang on, I think we're going to run a mic to you, sir. Make it like a Donahue show from before you were born. Thank you. Are you turned on? No, I mean, I know you're happy to be here, but...
Testing.
There you go.
Did it hurt, like, getting into character Wesker, and then did you see the latest Resident Evil movie?
Yeah.
Did it hurt to see how bad that Wesker was, how cocky he was?
That's a loaded question, you know. But well, you see, I'm not a purist like a lot of you guys are. So I actually watched the movie pretty much more for the special effects than anything, because I love the artistry of special effects. And I was tickled listening to his voice and going, he listens to, probably not Sergio Jones, but he listened to Peter and Richard and Mai's voiceover of that. So it was kind of neat to know that this actor, for his preparation, had to use a little of me. It was like, it came back 180 degrees, or 360. It came back 360 degrees, because I had to do that to do the voice. Now he had to do that to do his voice, and that made me happy. He's short. I think he's a great actor, but he's short. And Wesker's not short, and that would be my main complaint. But I think he's a really good actor, and also I don't like the badmouth actors either. But I do think he's a really good actor. So, I mean that, sincerely. Thank you, sir. We got another question here? I know you got one. I'm gonna get to you. You, sir. Oh, hang on, we're gonna run a mic to you. You're getting exercise. This is the coolest cup.
Yes, it is.
I'm drinking dead fairies. Well, they're not dead yet, they're dying slowly.
What was your favorite thing about being Wesker?
What's that? Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
What was your favorite thing about being Wesker?
My favorite thing? This, right here. My favorite thing is that he's big. I didn't know how big he was, and you fans are amazing. So, I wouldn't, if I hadn't done that game, I doubt a lot of people would be, for other stuff that I've done, would want me at these conventions. So, I'm just happy and excited that I get to go and see you guys in these different places. So that is the biggest thing as you fans. So, I mean, thank you. Thank you. I think another you have a question, sir. Run that in. Run it to me. Run it. Run it!
Run!
Oh, it's right here. No, it's the hat.
Have you ever used Wesker's voice in any strange place to creep people out?
I was with a friend who knew the voice and they asked me to do it while I was ordering food. So, and it was, the funniest part was I was ordering the food and I go, like, I don't know what I was ordering. I think it was like, like a fruit parfait, bottle of water. And the funny thing is this hotel has these cookies, these really warm cookies that are wonderful. And I said, and you will give me a cookie. The best part was when she read it back to me and she's like, fruit parfait, bottle of water, and I will give you a cookie. That was fun. Yes, sir. Hang on, we're going to bring the mic to you so everyone can hear you.
Sorry, this one's not about Wesker, but whenever you did Legion for Mass Effect 3, how did it feel doing a character that didn't really have emotion?
That is a very good question. It's also someone else's question who is here. Was it you yesterday who was so kind to ask it? But you know what? I'm actually going to get to the Legion section after this set one, so I'm going to answer that question for both of you. So we will come back to that. But you know what I'll do is we're going to do a little. I'm going to do just to spice things up instead of me just talking. Let's do one more trivia question here, and then we're going to watch this fun video. Trivia question. Where are you? Oh, we're out of trivia questions. Oh, come on. Oh, all right, I'm going to test you right now. Really? Is that it? Okay. All right, yeah, that is it. What is it? Oh, how about that? All right, because I have it on a gift, I want to give it out, so I'm going to test you now. Can you name, first hand that goes up gets this, can you name the previous voice actors for Wesker? You sure? Yell it out. Bam! The first guy to ever voice Wesker, Sergio Jones. You get it here! So some of you may have seen this, many of you probably haven't. In the recording booth, a lot of times we make mistakes, and people collect them, and then you can hear them later, they hear the bloopers. Oh, this is PG-13, by the way. For parents in the room, or people who brought me in here, just know that it's that. It's on YouTube, so. It's on YouTube, it should be fun. So sometimes they collect all of those. Well, they didn't do that for me. So a lot of fans kept wanting to see bloopers for Wesker, so I made my own a couple of years ago. Ladies and gentlemen, some bloopers from Wesker.
I don't need anyone else. I have big balls.
Sorry, let me do that again.
Boys. In less than 5 minutes, we reach Vader's Death Star. In less than 5 minutes, we reach the optimal entity for missile deployment. George Bush will be released into the atmosphere. Boys will be released into the atmosphere. Ensure complete global penetration.
It's saturation.
Ensure complete global masturbation.
Okay, take a breath, we're rolling.
Ensure complete global castration. Oh, fuck it. We'll do it live. We'll do it live!
Apologies to mothers and fathers around it. We forgot that was in there. No one heard that. No one heard that. Don't tell anybody. It's on YouTube. No one, they haven't flagged it as inappropriate. So at least I'm not playing that Burn a Koran video. So that that one did get flagged. Anyway. So before I leave the Resident Evil stuff and move on to Mass Effect or other, stuff, any other questions about Resident Evil or Wesker? Yeah. Oh, yeah, we're going to mic to you.
Have you ever played any of the Resident Evil games?
As in playing myself? I wanted to, and I watched a friend play RE5 a little bit. I don't play games because I'm usually very busy. And the one time that I tried to, I went and I bought a PlayStation 1 or 2, I guess, and I wanted to get a game that had like sleds in it, so I got Grand Theft Auto, and I thought it wouldn't be violent, and then I was like, oh. And also, after a half hour of playing that, I felt kind of queasy, probably from all the running, but just kind of like gray, and like I hadn't, I'm a little OCD guy, so I always have to be doing something that leads to something. And it's usually career related because I'm so I'm always promoting. So I did that for a week and I thought I'm not relaxing, I'm just kind of getting a little ill. So I'm not just got a good thing there. So I had to stop. But I have seen the cutscenes. I think it's fantastic. I mean, the stuff they do with video games is just insane. So yeah. Other questions for Resident Evil stuff, Wesker? We'll come over to you. We're gonna grab that one there.
My friend couldn't be here today, so this is sort of a request, but we met a Wesker cosplayer that did a very good job a couple years ago, and he said a line that I'm curious if I can get you to say too, because you're the actual Wesker. He said they were made in a lab, that's the story, and I'm sticking to it.
They will meet in a lab?
Made.
Oh, they were made in a lab, and that's the story. They were made in lab, and that's the story I'm sticking to. I don't know how it originally was done, so I'm just going to do my version of it. Is he angry? I need direction here. Direct me. Am I upset? Am I happy about this? Well, no, some do find still enjoyment. I mean,
You're actually trying to cover something up.
Oh.
They were made in a lab, and that's the story I'm sticking to.
I'm a dancing monkey. We have one over here. Yeah.
Okay, I just want to know, how does it feel to be beat by Chris Redfield?
Dude. Harsh mindset.
But I still
You know what? I mean, if you look at them both without their shirts on, it was a flip of the coin. So I'm not too bothered by it. Good question. Any more RE questions? Well then, could you do me a favor? We're going to show you one more little parody video before we leave the Wesker world, and then we'll move on to. It's like you're receiving information from aliens. She's doing this the entire time. Yes, I will kill him. I will kill him. or you're fighting your way. I don't know. Cool. So we're going to show you one more little parody video here. And this was like a year or two ago. This was part of a contest, and somebody said, and they won the contest, and so I made this little spoof commercial for them. And enjoy.
Look down, back up, well, you're okay. With the man, you're a man who killed. It's more than precious metal that in the jewelry of yours. But again, your jewelry is now a giant avant-garde fallacy. Anything is possible when your man injects Ouroboros instead of letting a meaningful human DNA. I'm not wrong.
I think it's time we move. Now, granted, I've also done for the cons like this. I've done also like anime stuff. Not a lot, not like, Steve Bloom just got, who I work with on Transformers Rescue, just got inducted into the Guinness Book of World Records for anime roles, which is pretty fabulous. I'm nowhere near that. It's a very short list. Sometimes it grows bigger because other people add things to it that I never did, but I'm like, oh, it makes the page look better on IMDb. But I had done some like, oh god, I'm gonna have problems remembering myself. Oh, okay. Thanks. Jazz in Eternal Sonata is one of the mines. Alexei in Tales of Vesperia. And for a season I did Ipo. I can't remember that. I can't remember the name of that. Sorry, I'm really bad at those names. Because I barely remember those jobs. They went so fast because you're just going in. I'm sorry. Yeah. That one. Yeah. So just so you know, there are some other things. And I've done games like Motorstorm Apocalypse, which I think is that's a whole different genre. So maybe more sports-oriented people. It's a racing game. I played a blonde-haired guy with sunglasses and that. But anyway, the other big one that everyone seems to know is Legion, Mass Effect 2 and 3. So if you have any Legion questions, or maybe we should do a contest first. Contest? Trivia question? Here we go. All right. Here's an easy one. Who suggested the name of Legion? He was first. Even though he's handing up the mic, he's not on payroll. The mic guy forgot.
It was Edie, and when he said that we are one of many, she suggested the name Legion due to the reference in the Bible.
Alrighty, so I do have one more question. I'm going to save it for a little moment. A little more trivia question. Just open up to any Mass Effect questions. I think we had one earlier that we skipped over, so let's start with that guy there.
The question was, how did it feel to voice act Legion, who is a robot that has no emotion?
You want to add that? So yours is similar.
Yeah, mine was like, how was it playing Legion as someone who has a voice filter and knowing that your voice can ultimately be altered in the end. And I think that kind of second part was not disappointing, but what was your how did you feel about Legion's fate at the end of Mass Effect 2?
Well, spoiler! You want to find it out? Do you guys have the rest of them here? I think you two have to take that after this. There's going to be a fight over there. What's in there? He was asking about, I guess you heard, what it's like to play a voice that really has very little emotion. Well, the thing is, it does have some emotion, because if it was completely just it would be, people would turn it off. And they could actually make a computer sound like the Geth. And in fact, the promo that they show before they cast the voice, the first time you hear the Geth speak, is they used a computer voice for it. But what it is, it comes with as an actor, you get your breakdown of what it is that you're going to do, audition for, and they tell you kind of what they want the character to be. And in this case, they had a very long one, so you really had an idea what they wanted to go with, which was something kind of a little bit of Hal from 2001: Space Odyssey. So we wanted to feel some compassion for the voice, but it was one that, when he's in battle mode, he's in battle mode, and when he's not, he's not. But they didn't want to go too into like Data World, Star Trek and stuff. So I kind of just went more for the Hal thing, and I enjoy it. I mean, I roll out of bed, clear the phlegm from my throat, show up at the studio in Burbank, and I just start talking. And it's more about just modulating the performance. It's actually it was a fun job to do. And especially with a lot of voiceovers, usually there's this section where you have to do all your efforts and deaths, streams, and all of that. And it's nice to have one where there's none of that. It's just pages of talking. And so as a voice actor, that's nice, because then I can go off and do a commercial without, like in RE5, the Chris, that they saved to the end. We tried to keep it at 2 takes. I think it was 4 takes, and I ended up trashing my voice, and I had to cancel a commercial job after that, because I'd go in there going, duh, smooth as silk for your face. It wouldn't work. So I enjoyed it very much. The second part of the question being,
What was your opinion of Legion?
Oh, the endings, yeah. Well, I have to say, I guess most people know by now, but I have to say that I didn't know that there was no possible way to keep him. Close your ears if you don't want spoilers for ME3. I didn't know that there was no possible way to keep him alive. So that I thought was fascinating. And when I saw the cut scenes from it, it was touching doing it, the recording of it. And we did a version of it in Mass Effect 2 at the end as well. So it was touching, but when I saw the cut scenes and production and all that, I found it really moving too. I just think it's pretty phenomenal. It's a very sophisticated game, and I really appreciate that. But the other thing too, as an actor, you go, damn it, 2 of my characters are now dead. But then they said, you are the only voice for the Geth. Like every time you see a Geth that speaks, that's me. So if there is a ME4 and they do have Geth, there's a very good chance that I'll be back doing Geth. So that makes me happy.
If I get to one thing, I was kind of surprised as to how moving it was with Legion. Even, you'd be surprised that you have emotions and feelings for somebody who themselves don't have any. I was kind of surprised. I was actually kind of saddened by the fact that he doesn't make it.
But a lot of that's their writing and setting up and you investing time with it and all. So, and also the voice directing of it. So, but I'm glad you felt that. Shall I do? Let me do another trivia question here for. Oh, you have a question? Let's get yours.
I was just wondering if later on we could sign a Mass Effect 3 strategy book.
Absolutely. I have a signing session at 6 or something. I don't know if they have something here afterwards, so if I started signing things and it turns into, but absolutely I will sign it. Or I'm here a little later for a signing session. I think it's 6. We'll do it down there. So absolutely. I'm going to get a hug, I think. No. Oh, I'm going to get dinner. 7 o'clock is the signing session where I'll be signing all sorts of stuff. I also have some 8x10s that in Florida I had to charge $20 for it. Here I'm only charging $5 for it. So if you wanted a Legion or Resident Evil picture, or Transformers Rescue Bots, I need to go to some kitty cons. Yes, exactly. All right, I got another one. This is my favorite trivia question for Mass Effect. And I just have to get into it. It is, yes. And what we'll figure it out. First, I don't think anyone has the exact answer, but we'll see who gets closest. We'll take 5 responses to this, and whoever's the closest will win. Here it is. How many programs make up the Geth consciousness? Here it comes. I'm gonna bet the guy in the middle has it.
3.
Can you repeat the question one more time?
How many programs make up the Geth consciousness? He says 3.
1.
Okay. Legion or the Geth consciousness?
The Geth consciousness.
Okay, in that case, it's somewhere around at least a billion.
A billion. Okay, so we have 3 guesses there. We got 3, 1, a billion, and I got 2 more people over here. Who were the first 2 that raised over here?
It's a 1 here.
Honor system. Okay, we'll take all 3. Right there, and that's the last. So pick those 3 there. 3, 1, a billion.
1,077.
1,077.
I think it was like 8.4 billion.
8.4 billion going to the high end. And we got one more.
1,078. That's my answer.
Wait, did you both just say 1,078?
He said 77, I said 78, because he took my answer.
Oh, okay. Well, I will tell you, you're in luck for him taking your answer because you're 1 closer than he is. It's 1,183. Woo!
Each individual guest is somewhere around 1,000. I thought you meant every guest. That's great. The thing is, I thought you meant every guest.
So, I'm going to play a video now that'll kind of wrap up all of this stuff, and then we'll open up to just general questions if you have any. Again, this contains a spoiler. If you really, really don't know about Legion and ME3, then maybe you really want to just close your ears for a while and not look. But otherwise, this was one I put together because Oh, hang on, we're ready. 1 second. Hi. Orange haired man? Hi. Are we ready with the last one? Did I give you that last one? It is ready to go? It's just we don't have any pictures, so that's why I wrote it. What's that? Oh, okay, so it's waking up. Okay, cool. So this is one I put together as a farewell to two of my favorite characters. Enjoy.
Speed. Siri, transfer to monitors.
Okay, Wesker, transferring Legion to monitors.
7 minutes. 7 minutes is all I can spare before I have my life.
A Jewish sandwich. Yes, I know none of this mean. Though we found its sexual capitalistic nature conflicting. The entire creation destruction multitasking forces this platform to oscillate between navigating and attempting to increase runtime.
So for God's sake, why am I wasting my time talking to a phone call?
Mr. Commander, we are alone your organic platform is strongly depressed in your game reality. This platform has also experienced a spin and strong within the Eastern Scenario without statistical probability of reading one stable and very much. You have access to data you do not. Confirm. Our witness will be in the sense.
Sex? Why haven't I heard about sex?
Analysis of your last death indicates the late rising of your ears may be the reason.
Not really strong enough.
May I suggest joining together our lives to ensure our survival should we be placed in a new game reality.
I don't need anyone else. I have orders. Right.
The same thing that compound charge suggested while amassing 2.5 million games. We estimate the probability of a Legion Wesker video game. Wesker Legion video game to be 3.75555558%, but we felt it prudent to establish contact with you.
Good performance.
Mr. Commander, what fun input.
Wow.
What do you require of me? Was it for the purpose of creating Wesker Jr.?
So there you go. I'm gonna have a little Q&A, and then we'll finish. And if it looks like nobody really cares, then I'm gonna throw in one last video. It was a film short, 5 minutes long, and it's about video games and about your younger brother. I think you'll like. So this is random. Ask any kind of questions you want. I also do film and TV, that kind of stuff. Next week I go to Houston to shoot an indie film that's David Lynch Ask, which will be fun. I play a sadistic cop. Mike Man. Oh, he's so totally ignored you.
I'm sorry.
All right, Dapper Man, what is it?
Okay, so well, okay, yes. Now, were all those videos we just watched under one channel that we can all see?
Oh yeah, you go to if you look up DC Douglas channel or Lance Baxter was the original. This is before I realized you couldn't change the name of your YouTube accounts, which is really stupid. They should charge like $50 and you can change your name. They make lots of money from all the people that go, oh, I didn't want to be porno princess. But so it's Lance Baxter or DC Douglas channel, and you'll find me. And it's got all those videos on it. Plus, it also has all my acting stuff too, film and TV. Or another way to find it is just go to dcdouglas.com. And there's links to all the videos that way too. It's just organized to be better that way.
I kind of got two questions.
I'm not going anywhere.
I know. The first question, I'm a huge fan of 24, and I know that you were in it. But, when I found out you did Wesker, I looked up your bio and everything. So when I saw 24 all the way through, I kind of missed over it. So what season were you actually in?
Even if you knew to look for me, you'd probably miss me. I'm only in one episode. That's the life of a lot of us actors. And until we actually finally get something good. That one is season 6. It's the very first episode. It's the scene. I think it's right after the titles, after the big terrorist attack. Which sounds like every episode, but it's in the Oval Office with the president. I forget the actor's name. It's the first black president they have, and or it's his brother because the other one was killed. So anyway, so I play the Attorney General, Assistant, or Deputy Attorney General, something like that. And literally it was just a few lines in the scene, and they said he'd be back, and you know they always say that because they want to get your weight down. And so I didn't hear from them, and then at Christmas time I went to Tahiti, and just as we were about to get on the plane, my agent calls and goes, okay, so it's filming on December 28th. I'm like, yeah, I'll be in Tahiti, and the amount of money I just spent on that, the amount of money I'll lose if I cancel the trip just to be on that show does not equal. It would suck because I really wanted to do. It would have been nice that I could say I was recurring on 24. So, but yeah, that's what it was. I just give some advice about how they can, how it's legal to maybe inter some of the inter some merits. That's good. You know, a little Guantanamo topics.
The second one, I'm kind of curious about this because when I looked up your bio on IMDb, I noticed the first acting role that you had was from 1988 on a...
Take a escort now.
I'm just kind of curious because I missed this special. That was a Weird Al special.
Oh, the on TV, yeah.
And your name was
Reginald Bucklock. Yes.
Could you talk about that for a little bit?
I don't think I should. That was actually kind of cool. And that was through a friend who was, I did improv back then. I was not good at it, but I had a lot of good friends who were good at it. And she kind of hooked me into that gig. Essentially, it was Weird Al and his producer, writer, partner, Jay something or other. I forget his name. Anyway, they took over MTV for like a 4 or 6 hour block. And so then they had these like mock interviews with people throughout and that kind of thing. So, and I was a Reginald Bucklock. I sound like Wesker, sorry. That's all I've been doing all weekend. So, as a fashion designer, and I was effete and I was wearing paisleys, and it was very silly. Very silly, but it was shot on the cheap, so it really looked. And I was really young at the time. I was like 21 or something. So, which was kind of funny because fashion designers would be a little older. Anyway, but that's what that was. Yeah. Yes, I'm old. I'm old. I admit it. I'm old, but I'm dangerous.
Okay, this is gonna show my age, but is it odd playing a character with your own name?
Thank you. You are the first person to ever ask that. Do you know what show you're referring to?
Boston Common.
Did you ever see it?
When I was little. I'm not that old, but I'm old enough to remember it.
That's so sweet. It wasn't that long ago.
It's not that long ago, but
it was long ago, I guess. Yeah, it was in the 96, 97. There was a show on NBC called Boston Common. And there's a really fun story. I have a blog, by the way, and I write about a lot of this stuff, so if you ever want to get more of a fun, detailed thing, and I put video in there and all that, so it's not too boring. The easiest way to find it is dcdouglasblog.com, or if you go to dcdouglas.com, you look up blog, it'll take you there, all of that. So anyway, I wrote a whole thing about the love letter to Max Muchnick and David Cohen is the name of the blog post, because they were the producers, who you'll know because they produced Will and Grace after that. That was the show before they got their major hit. And this was their very first show. They had worked on a show called Dream On HBO as the research team. They would pull up all the old clips of movies for his fantasy sequences. And they got a deal, like a three series deal with NBC. And the first one was Boston Common. It went for like a season, and then that was it. And then the second one was Will and Grace, and that went on for 9 years or something. It's insane. So, but what it was is I was in a pilot. I got cast in one little line I was going to go to Europe with that. It was my first time paying my own way. I was going to go to Europe, and I get the call. Again, this always happens when you plan a vacation for actors. And they said, you got an audition for this pilot, and he goes, and if you get cast, you're going right to the table reading. Those are always exciting and all. And I go, but if I get cast, that means it's a week they want me, and I'll have to push my trip, and it'll cost money. He goes, okay, that's how it works. You never know with this. You could become a recurring. And he was right, because I go there, I audition, I do the pilot. There was one stupid line, I don't even think it makes it in the final. And then I left to Europe, but before I left, I sent him a big basket and big promotion, you know, with champagne and all that, and I wish them well in their series. And this never happens in LA. He called me and said, "Thank you so much for the basket and your sweet words. It was very kind. If we get picked up, you'll definitely be back." Now, nobody in LA does that. So this is how you know they were new producers. But he lived up to his word. And they got picked up for 6 episodes, had me back for an episode for some other random character. And I did that, and then I brought them another gift, something quirky or whatever, and they thought that was funny. And I think they started to like the idea to see if they could fit me into each episode. Because in the next episode, they cast me as another, like a couple of lines as another character. And they thought then they thought, well, what we'll do is we'll have DC as different characters in every episode. And I think somebody else said, no. So then, before the shoot day, because it's a sitcom, before the shoot date on the board that they had the cast for that week and all, they had changed my character name from whatever it was to DC. And like no one told me, just all says to DC Douglas. And I'm like, I go to the director and I go, "Is my character name DC?" And they're like, "Yeah." And like everyone's got that knowing look in their eye, like, "Yeah, it looks like you're going to be recurring on the show." So it was one of those great experiences that I was too young and too insecure to appreciate, because I worried that what if they don't have me on for the next episode and all that. So I never could just be in the moment and enjoy the experience. And that's what I'd say is, you know, if you can balance out, you know, being sensitive and self-aware with also being confident and living in the moment, you'll probably have a better life. Because I didn't get to enjoy that experience. Only in retrospect will I enjoy it. So, but thank you so much. If I had another gift, I'd give it to you. So we got time for one more question. I'm sorry. Was it his? Okay, we're going for because otherwise it's going to beat up the mic guy, and I don't want that to happen. So.
Okay, Lyra.
Thank you. I didn't want to send any blood today. Anyway, back to Legion. When you were voicing him, how long did it take? Because with all the different choices you have in 2 and 3, Legion kind of has a million different things he said, so it seems. So, how long did it really take?
It's funny. Good question, because it's somebody else said, you know, Legion's one of my favorite small characters on the thing. And it's small. I had a lot of dialogue, and I realized only if you went through all of my different options would you know that I had a lot of dialogue. Because otherwise, it's a pretty short, I guess, storyline. The ME2 was obviously much simpler because it was just one thing with different. And we had this in all video games. Like if you choose Route A, Route B, Route C, you know, whatever your decisions are, then our lines change a little bit. But usually in the dialogue, you'll have the options there as you go. So you know that you're repeating this section of the scene because of what people's choices are. But ME3 was different because if you let me die in ME2, then the Legion you meet in ME3 is a whole new Legion, and he's kind of cold and distant. If you let me live, then I'm the Legion you know, and I'm much more warm and friendly. And you guys are going to miss flower power, and you're going to regret it, but okay. And then there were neutral lines that I had to record in case, depending on your choices, so that they were bridged. So it was like triple the dialogue, but for the same small storyline. So it's kind of funny. So it was neat. It was great because it was essentially doing 3 variations of the character that I didn't get to do in ME2. So yeah, it was neat. I'm thanking you for the question. It's a good question, guys. I want to thank you all very much. I know you can wander off, but if you don't, stick with the video. It's got a nice ending. It's only 5 minutes long, and it's about video games. I did this. I'm in a mentor program in Los Angeles called Youth Mentoring Connection, and I got a 14-year-old kid that I've been with a couple years. He's just great. And we decided he plays video games all the time, and I said, let's go do a film short. So we shot this in like 3 hours, and I edited and put it online. So I hope you enjoyed. Thank you all very much for coming out, and enjoy Flower Power.
and I talked to a frog.
You're talking about frog. You're picking flowers. What are you, a pansy? Flowers and frog? Why aren't you all playing video games? See, you know what I mean. Why know how playing this? Thank you all very much. They're gonna have to clear out of here now. So, what do you got coming up next? Okay, the next panel is filmmaking and